Hey everyone, welcome my mystical souls. So glad that you are here on a Tuesday evening. Thank you so much for joining me tonight for this live astrology readings. If you are new here, my name is Patricia Tate. I am your astrologer and your guide to blending traditional, evolutionary, and Western astrology to help you connect more deeply with your soul's path. So I'm grateful for all of you being here. I would love to know where you are from, and if you know your sun, moon, and rising. I am coming from, so right now, currently, I am in the beautiful sunny state of Florida. I am cat and bunny sitting for my daughter and taking up space here for another week and a half, and then I will be back in Ohio. So very sunny, very warm, very hot, and excited to be here. So if you're looking to get into tonight's Q, there's a QR code usually up here, but if not, it'll be down below. You need your exact date, time, and location when you turn that in. It is a $40 PayPal. I'm excited about tonight's live session because we are right in the middle between eclipses, and so there's a lot of it's intense, crazy. Feels like the tides are truly pulling and pushing all at the same time. A couple of quick notes. If you are looking for deeper insight, you can always schedule at my website. And if you're ready to go even deeper, you can check out my Patreon, where I offer 2 lives a month and I update just about every single day about what's going on. And I am offering a moon manifestation guide using the code Eclipse20 at checkout to get your discount. And be on the lookout because I've been working on this for the last couple of months. I am going to be releasing my 2026 year ahead. That will be on my website, and it will be after the eclipse season, so probably the first moon that comes up in October. So let's talk about this energy. We have this huge eclipse, and the sun, as a matter of fact, I'm going to share the chart with you, and I'm going to see who is in the queue tonight. Hey there, how are you from Berlin? Oh, the eclipse, I'm telling you. This one being at 29 degrees, so let's just talk about that just for a second. This eclipse is forming a kite, which points us into a direction of what we're focused on, and it stands opposite of Saturn and Neptune. Because this eclipse will be another new moon, we had a new moon at 0 in the sign of Virgo. It's 3 weeks ago, but it will be 4 weeks soon. And so we had a new moon at 0, fresh start, clean slate, new beginning. This one is like sandwiching all of the lessons because it's happening at 29. 29 is the very last, it's a karmic completion. And this is a south node eclipse of what do I want to release? What do I want to let go? It's about letting go and handing off of a new chapter. I am looking at it as not even a new chapter, but putting away the old book and pulling a new book off of the shelf. And so 29 degrees, I always think of as graduating. And so you don't throw away all of the years of study, but you take that knowledge and then you step into the new role. And so with this eclipse, it is opposing Saturn and Neptune. Saturn is rules, restrictions, limitations, and Neptune, dreams and illusions. And so Saturn is saying you need to have accountability for everything that you do. And Neptune is saying, yeah, well, I'm going to clear the fog so you can see the truth. And there can be old dreams that we're all going to have to give up on because they were just not sustainable. And Saturn is saying you have outgrown a lot of this, like relationships and jobs. It's about releasing and letting go what you've grown from, what you've evolved from, what you've outgrown. And it can feel uncomfortable. And so the structures that just don't align with your path, they can't come with you into the new chapter. So if we all think about that we are graduating from something, we are finally evolved enough to understand it, it's moving on. And then it's bringing in Pluto and Uranus. And Pluto is insisting that there is a transformation. And Uranus always brings in the shock surprise. And so it brings in quick, sudden change. And Uranus is awakening us. Got all these great new ideas. And Pluto is saying, this is not a surface level transformation. It is from your very core. And so it's about trusting the universe. We do also have Mars, also at 29 degrees. So if you have any planets at that 0 or 29, it's about endings and new beginnings. A lot of shifting and changing with this. So yeah, let's buckle up and let's talk about this. All right. So let me see who is first in the queue. There we go. And let me see if I can see who else in here. Hello, everybody. All right, let me move over. All right, Tish, thank you so much for being here. And I always like to start off with saying thank you for trusting me with your consultation, because whenever somebody shares with you their date, time, and location, it's sacred. It is sacred information that says, this is my life path, and what should I be focused on? What should I be worried about? How do I evolve from this? All right, so Tish, thank you so much. So you're going to have, this is coming up on this actual Sunday. So the eclipse is going to be on Sunday, and it's going to be at 29 degrees, and it's going to be in your 8th house. The 8th house is where we are actually merged with other people through our finances, through our emotions, through our things that have happened to us when we were younger. It's also, so think about it as where we invest our time, our effort, our energy, our money, our resources. So this can be alimony or things with an X. This could be with a business partner, with debt or taxes. This could be growing up with siblings or parents. The 8th house also brings up taboo topics. It brings out secrets. It brings to the table things that we are not comfortable sharing or talking about. And so this being the second new moon, but this one will be with the south node. A south node eclipse means that things need to be released completely, gone. Like, think about it as flushing it down a drain and it dissolving. And so this is a new moon, so it's totally releasing of the past, or releasing of this connection. This could be a business partnership. This could be maybe you're taking your money out of your investments. This could be something coming to fruition. And what am I going to do with this? The 8th house is literally retirement, savings. It's birth, death, and rebirth. It's transformation of. So we know that there's a major transformation going on there. What is opposite of it is Saturn and Neptune. Remember, Saturn wants you to be held accountable. Saturn is, some people are afraid of Saturn, and I say don't ever be afraid to work with the planet. Saturn wants responsibility. It wants maturity, and it doesn't just give anything away. So it has the rings around it. So think about the fence around the yard. And so you've got Saturn retrograding back into your second house of your money, your resources, your talent, your cash, your property, your skill set, personal things that you personally value. And so we know that this is opposing it, and this is saying, what are you going to do with this? When a planet retrogrades back into a sign, it wants you to go back and say, before I move on, I have some unfinished business here. So we know that you are looking over your finances, your resources. This can be personal, or this can also be people, places, and things. Like, who do you truly value? What do you truly value? I always remind myself that the second house is the house of know my value, know my worth, and taking stock of everything that I truly own. Now Neptune's at 0, and it's in your 3rd house of communication. That goes along with your neighbors and your siblings and your cousins, and it's in the sign of Aries. Is I, Tisha, have to communicate clearly. I have to initiate it. I have to speak up. I have to be able to do those things. Now, you have Uranus right on top of your Venus. Venus is the goddess of love and beauty and money and resources in your fifth house of creativity, in your house of what do you want to create, give birth. This could be children, or this could be art, music, beauty, love. Having Uranus sitting on top of your fifth house is about getting very creative, thinking outside the box. This is taking risks. It's doing things that are completely unexpected. Now, Uranus is going to be here. It's currently retrograde, but it's going to be in this area of your life for the next 7.5 years. And so this will really increase like the thrill factor of what you are doing. Uranus, I always say, is like, let your freak out, like embrace things that are non-traditional. Now, this is also in a harmonious aspect with Pluto. You have Pluto in your first house of identity. It went into here last fall, and it will be here for the next 20 years, totally transforming who you are. Let me connect some of these lines for you. So we have Pluto saying, I'm going through a major transformation, and this could be a healing through some type of a loss. This could be the eighth house, and I say a loss, or the eighth house is things that have happened to you when you were a child, or the relationship with child and parent, or remember, it's secrets. It's things that have happened to you, maybe that you were not comfortable with, or investments in people, places, and things. Not always bad, but we know that there are going to be some major endings of some topics coming to light. Now, eclipses necessarily, they don't happen exactly on that day energetically for the event to happen. We go 4 to 6 weeks before, and we go 4 to 6 weeks after. So I want you to think back 6 weeks ago and say, what has been transforming over in my life personally that has to do with my security, my safety, my money, my resources, where I'm invested with people, places, and things. How does this transform me? The fifth house is also our own inner child and children. So it's like creativity. I want you to notice that the tail end of the kite is here saying, this is where I'm anchoring in, and I need to be focused on the front of the kite, the top of the kite. And so this is you saying, I'm going to be ending some relationships of where I've invested my time and my connections with others, and I need to be focused more on me. And what does that look like? And how is that going to change and evolve you, and the way that you communicate, and creative projects, what you find joyful. I do want to add one more thing in here, Mars. I'm adding Mars because Mars is also at the 29th degree. And so with this eclipse comes this final ending. This Mars wants to initiate, it wants to go after. In the sign of Libra, it looks for fairness and equity, but it struggles to find the balance between. And so it's at the 29th degree. It's saying that this is it. I need to move on. Now, the ninth house brings in themes for you that have to do with traveling or cross-cultural education, religion, philosophy, beliefs. This is the house of where you expand your mind. You expand your horizons by you getting out there and being exposed to people, either by taking classes or workshops or studying something, or by being the teacher or by traveling there. So all of these topics come in to say, this is the focus, this is where we need to go, and this really needs to end. Knowing that in just a few short, like in another week, Mars is going to move into the sign of Scorpio. It's going to continue this energy, this story. Mars, think of it as a very sharp sword, or it's a warrior, and it represents you. Where do I need to cut, sever, and remove in order to move forward, to focus on themes and topics for myself? Now, when Mars moves into Scorpio, it will be very intense. It will be getting to the bottom of things. It's about understanding the truth. It'll have things to do with career, job, reputation, and legacy. So all of this is really mashing together a beautiful story for yourself. So I'm excited for you, Tisha. So I'm going to look in the queue to see if you are here. Hey, Catherine, how are you? Oh, you subscribed yesterday. Yay, I'm so glad that you are here. All right. Hey, Steph, how are you? A bit sleepless. Look, I never sleep well during new moon, full moon, and then especially during this eclipse season. Like this eclipse being at 29 is, I was just talking to my son about it because we are both on the same wavelength when it comes to sleep and the moon and being in sync with it. And it's about dreams. I mean, think about Pisces. Pisces is the opposite. It's dreams, it's connection to the spiritual realm. And Virgo energy is always, it's about our health and nurturing and caring for others. And Pisces is the desire to let go and release. And so there's so much, I feel like I'm in choppy waters. Like the water is going in and out, and I have to be careful to not be swept away. I'm looking at this eclipse, not just for myself, but for others, in that you're in a raft and all of your things are on the beach, and the undertow or the I don't know what that tide is that pulls you out, and it takes you out, and you get so far out you cannot get back in, and it literally takes you to the next island. That's what eclipses do. They literally eclipse people, places, and things in and out of our life. And this one is coming with so much energy that says this has to be left behind. And if you do not, then there will be, they will remove it themselves. Like the universe will make that happen. All right, so let me pull up the next person. All right, and Catherine, you don't sleep during these times either. Oh, you taught high school. Oh, I used to teach math in school. Absolutely. I taught math for 35 years. Math and astrology go hand in hand here. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Kids are, and my sister-in-law is a nurse, and I'll tell you, all you have to do is ask. My father was a police officer, so you ask anybody who deals with the public, police, nurse, teachers, full moons. They bring out the cray-cray in everybody. And anytime that we have eclipses, it is major. I mean, like, think about it. They rule the water that's within our body. All right, so let me pull up my next person. Oh, for crying out loud. Hold on, so sorry. There we go. All right, Capricorn Contessa. I love Capricorn energy. Hold on. You know, my daughter just got back from Hawaii. A place that I really need to go to. All right, I think I have everything. Let's see if am I spelling it wrong? Okay. All right, Capricorn Contessa. First, let's take a look at your chart. Oh, you taught English. Oh, well, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I did. I had the business going at the same time, taught math for 35 years, and retired, and knowing that I was going to merge in. I have Gemini in my 10th house, so I knew that I was going to leave one and go full time into the next. So didn't even skip a beat. Absolutely love it. And the gray hair, natural. Have two young adult children who created this gray. All right, Capricorn Contessa, let's take a look at this. First off, I want to say thank you. I love, okay, rising sign. Oh, your moon is at 29 degrees. Oh, I love that. In your 12th house and Neptune. And I love your Scorpio energy. Okay. Oh, anything else? Okay. All right. I love to see that. Okay. Let me now transition over and pull up. Okay, since there were no questions, which I love because then it lets me roam around your chart and tell you what my thoughts are. Let's say, all right. Okay, so since you're using the sign, your name Capricorn, I assume you are pretty familiar with astrology. So we're going to take a look at the nodes activating your ninth house, having major endings. I'm going to circle everything for you so we can just like pull it all together here and here. And let me draw some lines. This is huge for, all right. So I'm going to start with the top of your chart. This is actually where the new moon eclipse is at. I want you to think back 3 weeks ago and say, what was going on in my life? It would have been, okay, if you go back 6 weeks ago, the themes would have shown up. If you go back 3 weeks ago, you had a new moon in your ninth house at the 0 degrees of I, Capricorn Contessa, am starting something new for me. It's either a new religion, a new travel, new class, new workshop, teaching something. It would be you wanting to expand your worldview, something that has to do with religion or travel or connecting with cross-cultural experiences, foreign people, places, and things. The ninth house is also the house of publishing or legal matters. So we know that you started something and it should have been focused on self. Virgo energy is about perfection. It's self-care, and then the difficult part of it is wanting to be perfect. And Pisces energy is about release, let go, and be at one. And so this new moon will be a south node. I have to let go. Now this let go can be you win a court case, you finally travel to that place, or you finish a class, or you finish teaching something. It's finishing something, but it's also creating space for something new to start. This new moon eclipse is I have to make this happen. I have to make a plan in order to make this happen. Well, what is opposite of it? Because what is opposing it is, for crying out loud, there we go, is the Saturn in your third house. When Saturn goes back into the sign of Pisces for you, this is your third house of the way that you communicate. It's also technology. It's neighbors, siblings, cousins. It's the way you take in information, the way you share information. So if this is about publishing, teaching, religion, philosophy, it's where am I getting my information from? How do I get this in, and how do I share it with others? Is this you creating a blog? Is this you working with a new form of technology in order to travel someplace or to expand your mind? Take in the themes of close to home and further away. And that's where the themes are starting from. Saturn says I have to work for it. It's not going to come easy, and I have to make a plan for it. And there should be goals, short, middle, and long-term goals. Neptune in the sign of Aries is a letting go, something that has to do with your home. I don't know if this is a move. I don't know if this is somebody moving out of your home. I don't know if this is letting go of things that are within your home, because Neptune dissolves. In the sign of Aries, it's your stuff. It could be you moving, it could be somebody else that's within the home, but Neptune wants to dissolve, release, let go. Now, it's in a mini kite. Uranus is in your sixth house. Your sixth house is your day-to-day habits, mental, physical, spiritual health, and well-being, but it's alternative healthcare and healing. This is the house of how do I care for myself, but it's also how do I help others? How do I balance my home and my career? Uranus is, I want to work from home, I want to travel here, I want to do this. Or Uranus is shocking, surprising. This could be health related themes. And with the health related themes, it's healing also, like checking out a sound bath, or looking at tapping, or Reiki, or any other forms of healing and modalities, either for yourself to learn about it or to support others with it. Now, Pluto in your second house, totally overhauling all of your money, your resources. It's literally looking at your finances, your movable property, your salary, your skill set, your possessions. And it's saying, I need to, either I want it and it either brings me joy, or I need to find a home for it, or I need to sell it, I need to get rid of it. It'll totally transform everything that you own. Like literally. It has everything to do with what makes you feel secure. That's people, places, and things. And Pluto will transform, creating that for you. Having Mars in your 10th house brings in themes of finality, of job, reputation, legacy, career. It brings in topics that have to do with promotion and success. Aries energy is, I go after, I cut, I sever. I'm trying to find a balance here because it's in Libra. Libra energy is it's ruled by Venus, so it's love and beauty and money and resources. But Libra wants to bring people together or things together. It wants harmony, but it's not always about the love of. It's an air sign, and so it's using your head to balance the scales of. And what are you going to do? Knowing this, that this is the tail end of the kite, of where you're holding on to things, of a travel, a move, a shift in, I need to be moving towards, how do I take this information, how can I use it better for myself? Remember that the third house is where we formulate our thoughts and our language, and this could be writing a book. This is like literally, how do you communicate these things with other people? Knowing this, Mars is going to, just a couple days after, move into the sign of Scorpio. Mars is fierce in the sign of Scorpio. It will cut, sever, and remove, and says, I now know where I'm supposed to be going. These are my goals. These are my aspirations. These are the people that I need to connect with. And this is no longer, surface stuff is just no longer going to do. It is literally going after it. So we know that once you are moving in the right direction, once you have an idea of what's going to be going on, you will, I don't want to say be ruthless about it, but you will say, I have to make up time and I have to go after it quickly. And it's uncovering information also. Scorpio energy is uncovering secrets and information and digging to get to the truth. So I'm hoping all of this makes sense. I want to bring in one more thing, and I'm hoping I'm not drawing too many lines that you don't get confused by this. You have your moon at 29 degrees. This is a square. And it's a harder aspect of, squares are right angles in order to make you uncomfortable enough that you have to shift and change something. Something has to be integrated. Having your moon in your 12th house in the sign of Sagittarius, the moon is your intuition, it's your feelings, it is what needs to be satiated in order to feel emotionally satisfied. You need to explore, you need to study. The 12th house is esoteric topics, past lives, dreams, intuition, psychic ability, astral travel, astral projection, Reiki, anything that has to do with energy work, psychic work, anything that has to do with hidden realms. The 12th house is where we go to sit, to be alone, in order to tune out what's going on here and tune in to be at one, to be in alignment with. And so you have Neptune there. Neptune blurs everything. It makes it foggy. And the moon here, anything that's at 29 degrees, is a final exam lifetime. Like you got it. It's like you've already done a lot of this, and so this is not a remember or not a doing. It's a remembering and moving forward through that. Your 12th house is how do I heal and renew and release myself from these karmic debts? Because when I heal me, then I also heal the line that comes before me and the line that comes after. So, Capricorn Contessa, I am hoping all of this makes sense to you. I'm going to look in the queue. Let's see. Caitlin, sorry to you are not dominating, but the best way to find out. Oh, crashed. You've been sick for 23 years. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I hope that you can get in the queue here. Yeah. Great. Okay. All right. And Lana Louise, so glad that you are here. All right. So let me see who is next in the queue. Thank you. Thank you for trusting me, Capricorn Contessa. All right. Good Lord. Hold on. Mother. There we go. Sorry, there we go. I don't know what was going on. Yeah. All right. Marie. Alrighty. Oh, goodness. And the question, how do I earn my own money? Oh, okay. Just by earning. Oh, 17 years ago, I'm studying Helen. Oh, good for you. I've studied. Okay. So, okay, Marie, let's talk about this. So, you're having okay. Can we just, I'm going to back up. And so you have, let's just talk about your nodes. Your south node represents your past. I do traditional evolutionary. So in evolutionary astrology, we look at your past if you believe in past lives. If you don't believe in past lives, then we look at your past in this lifetime or through parents and grandparents, and we say, what is a pattern and how do we work with that pattern in order to overcome some obstacles. So we look at your south node in the sign of Virgo. The south node is where you came from. Things were difficult. We always look at it as where things ended for you. So at the top of your chart, you know it's your 10th house, it's your career, your job, your reputation. When we look at it from a past life perspective, we look at it and say your ending of your life was very visible to everybody. Everybody saw it. You lost your job, you lost your career, your reputation, your legacy. Everybody knew about it. And Virgo is analytical, detail-oriented, and of service to others. And so you lost that. Everything was taken away from you. We look to the ruler of it, and that's Mercury. Mercury in your 7th house of partnerships. So I would look at this and say, you lost everything to a partner, from a partner, in the sign of Gemini. Thoughts, ideas, communication, travel. Literally, this could have been a partner, business partner, significant other, best friend, open enemy, ex, something, a client. Let's say that it could have been a client who sued you. It could have been a partner who took everything that you had. It could have been a life partner, like a marriage partner, who you lost everything in the end. And then we say, well, all right, I need a solution to it. How do I move on past that in this lifetime? How do I look towards the better? And so that is the North Node in the sign of Pisces. I, Marie, have to be moving towards building a sustainable home, building a secure home. But it's water. Pisces is water. It's intuitive, it's psychic, it's being at one with the universe, and it's letting go of fears, like let go, let flow. Easier said than done. The ruler of Pisces is Neptune. Where is your Neptune? In your 12th house. So tapping into your dreams, your intuition, your psychic ability, fears, releasing, letting go of, and I would say that this is a karmic pattern, either from other people in your family or the, I would say that, like past lives. And so Neptune wants to dissolve, but in the sign of Scorpio, Scorpio remembers. Scorpio has this in their body memory of what things are. Now, I want to show you one more thing. I'm sure that you have worked with it, but this is called a yod. Okay, so we are taking, and they call it a yod or a finger of God. And so we say right here, like it's like a doctor pointing to a sore spot and saying, does this hurt? And so a yod says, I'm going to make you uncomfortable. You're not going to get the answer that you like, but it's right here. So Venus is in Leo. Venus is the goddess of love and beauty, money, resources, cash, and she brings people, places, and things together in the sign of Leo. Taking care of other people, pride, and having pride in yourself with teaching and studying and learning and traveling. And also Uranus in Libra. Uranus is think outside the box. It is surprise, shock. It is the maverick. Do something that somebody else has not done. Now, your Uranus is in Libra of trying to find balance. It's also about connecting with other people that can help you get to where you want to go. The 11th house is, so I would join astrology groups and networks, but I would also, it's clubs and organizations that you join in order to move your career further along, or like star family, like people that I would gather with for a new moon or a full moon, or where I would volunteer, like at the Rape Crisis Center. So the 11th house is this mix of these groups or networks that you are part of that can be unique and eclectic, but that's how you're going to network to get to where you want to be. And it will be uncomfortable, but this is what you have to do. Now, you pull from your past in order to evolve in this lifetime. You've already been a success in a past lifetime. You can do it again. Paying attention, like having your node at the top in your 10th house, you've already created a legacy before. You can recreate it again. You just need to use what you've done in the past and bring it forth in this lifetime. Now I want to show you where we are today with this eclipse, to add in like one more layer. Oh, you can't see it yet. So sorry, I forgot to transfer it over. There you go. Okay, so you are having this eclipse, and I want to show you this. You're having a nodal return also, and so let me back up from this, and then I'm going to add to the story. So this is the kite that we're talking about. And it's you, literally focused on job, career, reputation, legacy, responsibilities. And how do I create that? Uranus is in your partnership sector. You are going to be, you're darn close to already having a Uranus trine Uranus. Look at this and say, okay, I got it. Light blue and light blue, like Gemini and Libra, are both air signs. And so this will be a Uranus trine Uranus, meaning it's a harmonious aspect that will bring unusual people into your peripheral. The seventh house is about love and contractual agreements, and it's relationships, partnerships, it is clients. And so thinking outside the box and not doing traditional anything. It's for you, it's not going to be what you've done in the past. It's not what everybody else is doing. We are literally in a time period that everything that's already been done will not be what we do in the future. The future is changing and evolving so fast. Think of it as before we had, maybe when we just had a radio and then we had TV. Like nobody went back hardly to the radio. And then when we had TV and then we had these phones and then we had cell phones, people got rid of their phones in their home. That is what is happening now. We are in this very fast forward, advanced, technological, paced arena, in that what you want to do for a job, for a career, it's create something new. It's not do what everybody else is doing. It's coming up with something that'll be unique to you. And the fifth house is about giving birth to it, creating it. The fourth house is creating something that's solid and sustainable that you can build upon. The third house with Pluto here is technology and communication and neighbors, siblings, cousins. The houses of 3 and 7 and 11 are the houses of networking with everybody. Like the third is neighbors, siblings, cousins. The seventh is partnership, relationships, clients. The 11th house is networking with groups and affiliations. You getting out and making yourself be seen and creating your job. It's going to be you creating something for yourself. And having a nodal return means go back 18 years ago, what was going on in your life, and then 9 years ago you were having the opposition, which was uncomfortable. This is where you have been off track. The universe is now saying, this is where you have to go. Find your path. Make this happen. You got this. And so Marie, nodal returns, had mine not that long ago. Very emotional. Like I could see the endings of things, but I couldn't always see like what was beginning. And so this is new beginnings are happening. I believe it'll be happening more with home. Usually when somebody has the nodes going through their 4th and their 10th house, it usually means a move from home or somebody moving in or out of home. And the 10th house of leaving a job, leaving a career, and shifting within that. And so I'm hoping all of this makes sense to you. I'm going to look in the queue to make sure that... Hey, Ellen. Definitely join me.
You need her birth information.
Oh, I need your birth information, Ellen. So I when people give me their information on here, if you are a regular and you give me permission, I will save it, but I never save anyone's birth information unless that they've given me permission, because I feel like it's sacred. So, yeah. Hey, Polly, how are you? So glad you're here. Ellen, I love your okay, your question is the direction of career. Love it. And Karmic Karen. Okay.
She's next.
Okay, let me even see. Hold on. If I even... So, Marie, I want to thank you one more time, and I'm hoping that that answers all of your questions. And I'm going to see if I have Ellen's. I have it. I did save it, yeah. Because I think I had asked before, yeah. All right. Ellen, it is always good to see you back here. And if I remember what I read there, it was questions about the direction of your career. Okay, let's talk about this. Mm. Wow. I forgot your north node was at 0 and your south node's at 0. Like, this is intense. Okay, let's talk about this, because this is going to activate this and this and this. Okay. Let's bring it all together here. All right, so this being a south node eclipse at 29 degrees, 1 degree away from your node in your south node in Libra, being another south node eclipse, a release, a let go. Look, a south node in your second house could mean paying off a bill. It usually means the releasing, the letting go. This could be selling off, like going through your house and saying, I want to get rid of these things. I don't need these things anymore. Or the second house is your money, your talents, your skill set. And then it becomes this brand new beginning, a fresh start, clean slate. And it's asking for the raise, know your value, know your worth, and kind of pushing for it. What will probably need to happen, because the new moon eclipse is happening in your second house, is I'm creating my own money, my own resources. With that, what opposes it is Saturn in your 8th house. Where are you investing your time, your effort, your energy, your money, your resources? The 8th house is also the house of healing from trauma. It's about our shared resources. It's inheritances, wills. It comes with other people, places, and things that you invest in. Saturn is going to sorry, my dog. People are slamming doors. Saturn will say, use your caution for where you are putting your money. That means where you're investing it. If you are creating a will or an estate or something, it's looking at where you are placing your resources and your time. I always say my time is well worth way more than my money. Like, take the crystals, don't waste my time, because you can't get that back. You can always buy more crystals. And so Saturn in your 8th house is really saying, it went into Aries and said, I, Ellen, am going to initiate things that have to do with teaching and learning and traveling and education and higher learning. And then it dipped back into people, places, and things that you're invested into. I would think that it's you going back and saying, I need to use caution. I need to look at everything of where I am putting my money, I literally would look over all of your investments. I would look over anything that you are responsible for or anything that is connected with you. So for us, for me at one time, I was still on my kids' accounts as young adults, and then we needed to separate that, and then it became wills and estates, and then we worked through that. The 8th house is also the house of healing. It's where you go back and uncover the scars of things that either happened to you when you were younger, or it's about trust and power and control, or fear or lack of. And the 8th house is who we connect with in order to move forward with. This can be financially, emotionally, psychologically. You are asking about your job, your career. Well, you have Neptune in your 9th house. Are you looking at taking a class? Are you looking at a workshop? Are you looking at studying somewhere? Are you looking at teaching something? This is going to be going backwards and saying, I have to go back and redo before I move forward with. That, like, there's something that's not done. There's a person, place, or thing that is not that needs it has to be addressed. Things have to be addressed, dissolved, released. Having Uranus in your 11th house, pay close attention to anybody who has come into your life in the last, I would say, 4 to 6 weeks. Uranus in Gemini. Gemini is our thoughts and our ideas, but it's different, diverse groups. Your 11th house brings in all of your networks, like where you volunteer and where you can, because this is the 11th house is the house of your dreams, your hopes, your wishes of where I want to go and what do I want to do. And Uranus is, I have to think outside the box. I have to be a maverick. I have to make that connection. And so, like for me, it's meeting the most unique and like at the most different, weird. So for me, I volunteer at the Rape Crisis Center. You would be surprised at who you would meet at a hospital or at a center. I also volunteer at the homeless shelter. You would be surprised. It's not just the people that you're working with, but it would be the people that would be in the offices. The 11th house is your like star family or your group, your networks that you get together with, either through work or through personal, like organizations or clubs or networks. Uranus here is me saying to you, Ellen, your networks should be eclectic, unique, unusual, and you never know who you're going to meet, who will transform something else. Like you have Uranus in a trine with Pluto. It's transforming the people that are partners or clients or best friends or significant others, and it's an overlap of, and it's how do I use this for my job? How do I use this to further myself to get to where I want to be, if that makes sense. And so this new moon is you saying there's going to be a big shift with something that has to do with your financial condition, your spending goals, your income, your possessions. I would say it would be a closing of a gap of the new moon that happened 3 weeks ago, so you can think back to what started then at 0, and knowing that this is a shutting of a door, a closing of a door with that. I'm going to look in the queue to make sure that this is all making sense. And know that Neptune sitting on top of your north node in your 9th house is, it's blurry, it's foggy, it's wanting, I would say that it would be wanting to try, I want to go there, I want to experience this. Neptune can also blur, fog. Hey, yeah, it can be a few drinks too many. And it's like letting go of your inhibitions. All right, so let me check where we're at. Oh, okay. I'm hoping that everybody's going to give us a hot second because my computer's working, but my husband's is not. And so he's the one who manages the queue and manages all of the other things that come in. And so you got just me while he tries to boot it back up. I don't know what happened, guys. But, okay, I'm going to look in the queue. Okay, Ellen, the direction of your career, I think you're going to have to be going back to school for something. I think it's going to be going back to school, or there will be some kind of a travel, or you will be teaching something. It'll have something to do with the you initiating your north node being in Aries here, and this, it's opposing what's going on up here opposite of this eclipse. Marie, you are very welcome. Hey, Karmic Karen, do we need to pay in the live chat? Yeah, there's a QR code or a link down below. Kelly, greetings from Baltimore. Well, I'm so glad that you are here. I am currently in the state of Florida for the next week and a half. All right, Ellen, I got all your stuff. All right. And yeah, Kelly, it is a small world. Hey, Catherine, I think you paid with PayPal. Now what? Now, as soon as my husband gets his computer up, I have one other person in front of you, so I will get to you in just a hot second. All right, Ellen, I am sending you big hugs. I know that right now Everything has you focused. I just think that there's going to be training. There's going to be travel or training or something that's going to come up in order for you to get to where you want. And there's going to be a connection, something that has to do with your money, but it'll be connected to you meeting other people, or a connection of, remember that the 11th house is not just who we meet in person or where we volunteer. It's also the clubs and organizations that we belong online. It's our online groups and networks also. So I'm hoping all of that makes sense. All right, let me, thank you. Thank you, Ellen. I'm going to pull up Polly's now. All right. There we go. Polly, thank you for waiting, and I greatly appreciate you being here and trusting me with your consultation. Alrighty. You have a lot of 8s, 1s, 0s, and 8s. I don't know if you've ever dove down that path before, but that is for crying out loud. I think I spelled it wrong. Yeah, hold on. There we go. Let me see here, Polly. All right, thanks, Polly. Let's see. So, no question, which is perfect because then it lets me roam around your chart. You have so much Libra energy. Oh my gosh. I love this stellium, but it's in a square. Like, this is a skip step. I don't know if you know what a skip step is or a misstep. In astrology, whenever somebody has I have one. That's why I really pay attention to it. The nodes these are the nodes of fate. The north node is our direction in life. The south node is where we've come from. And so when we have a planet that squares it, we have come into this lifetime that says, I am going to put extra roadblocks in my way to speed up the progress. So when one of these are activated, it lights up the whole chart. And you have your sun at 25, Mercury at 24, Pluto at 24, and Jupiter at 21. Like, Jupiter is on the fringe, but Sun, Mercury, Pluto, that is condensed, compressed energy to say, I'm in it to win it in this lifetime to get this done. The sun in Libra is about finding harmony, finding balance. It's about finding equity. Now, the difficult part that goes along with it is that no is a hard word, because in the beginning of I don't have Libra like that, but in the beginning of your life, you were probably like a people pleaser, and it was having a hard time saying no and how to overcome that and work with that. And so every single time one of these are activated, it's like a pinball machine. Your whole chart goes ding, ding, ding. It's time to light up and learn a lesson. So it either happens or it's a pause for you. And you also have a yod. I'm just going to throw that out there. This is the green. Yods are called the finger of God. Right here, Polly. All right, so let's talk about where we are. Let me pull up a bi-wheel for you. And I appreciate everybody joining right in between eclipses, because we all have this wonky energy that's going on. All right, Polly, let's see. Okay, so this is going to be the kite. Let me draw some lines here to make it easier for you to see. A kite is a configuration that has a tail, and it's made up of trines, and it's made up of, there we go. So we look to the base of the kite. So having your south node in your 10th house and your north node in your 4th house since last year. So if we go back a year, it generally means that you are going through some kind of a change or an evolution that has to do with your job, your career, your reputation, your home, your family, your foundation, your responsibilities. It usually means leave a job, upgrade in a job, like retire from this, or hire over here, or climb up the corporate ladder in this, or like literally leave the job. And then the 4th house is get a new home, somebody leave the home. It usually means a releasing and letting go and something of brand new. And so that is a theme that started a year ago. Then if you go back, so 6 weeks ago, this eclipse energy was starting of, hey, I need to release some things here. Hey, I need to start some things. Virgo energy is about self-care and the nurturing and caring for others, and Pisces energy is about releasing and letting go and trusting that the universe is the right path of where you're going. Having a new moon that we had 3 weeks ago, we had a new moon at 0 in your 10th house, a starting of a brand new chapter. And then you're going to be having this next new moon, but it will be at an eclipse with a south node. So new, I need to start south node eclipse. I'm also going to be letting go of a chapter that I will never return to. So this could mean I'm going to be leaving this job and I'm never going to come back to it again, or I'm getting rid of these responsibilities. For me, when my kids got older, I'm like, okay, they're older. I'm going to give, like we showed you how to do all your bills, your taxes, your everything. You're on your own. You got this. Wash my hands. Those are my responsibilities. For me, it was also retiring from one job and then moving into something else, moving into another job, another career, a new evolution of what is this business. And so we know that you are going to be shifting or changing in that way. And then we know that there's going to be something that's going on with your home, your traditions, your family, your foundation. We know that there's going to be something that's going to be destabilizing and needing to have a solid foundation of. Now, what is opposing it is Neptune in your 5th house. Neptune is at 0. Neptune is watery, and it's about dissolving, releasing, letting go. 5th house is children, creativity, your own inner child, art, beauty, music. It's creative projects. What are you letting go of? Aries energy is I initiate, I poly. Maybe I don't belong to that club, that organization, that group. I'm not into sewing anymore. I'm not into drawing. I don't want to be able to, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to find something else. Or the project has come to an end, a natural ending. The 5th house is also the house of lovers. It's the house of children. And so this could be a child that's moving away, or I'm done having children, or I want to heal my own inner child. Neptune is dissolving, releasing, letting go, blurring, and it's also foggy and unclear, and it's about wanting to bring together. Saturn in your 4th house says we need to have a foundation. We need to have some boundaries. I would love to say that everything is cut and dry, that there's only one, but all of these planets are working together, so it tells a culmination of a story of things that are going on. It's not just I'm going to leave a job or I'm going to move from a home. It's all of these factors thrown in together that tells the whole story of what Polly is going through. You have Uranus in your 7th house of partnership. Uranus is chaos. Uranus is shock and surprise. It's the rebel. It's like, oh, I met this person through this person. Or it's the 7th house is not just partnerships, but it's where we sign documents and we have clients. The 7th house is the house of the other. And the sign of Gemini is 2. And so this could be shocking and surprising with 2 different partners or 2 different best friends. Pluto in your 3rd house brings in a transformation of the way that you are communicating, the way that you take in information, the way that you disseminate it, and the way that you use technology and travel. And it's all focused on what am I starting new? And the kite is flying towards your home because I need to create this solid, stable foundation. I'm going to add in one more circle. Hopefully it does not confuse you here, but oh, for crying in a bucket. Here we go. There we go. Mars is also going to be at 29 degrees. It's pretty close to the sun, who you are, your identity. It's probably on top of it right now, but this chart is set for Monday. So Mars is you. I, Polly, want to initiate. Mars is cut, sever, remove. Think of it as you have a sword, and the sun is who you are. So are you getting on your phone and saying, these groups no longer resonate with me, I'm going to cut my ties with them, or I want to be in charge of this group because I want to further it along? It's groups, networks, clubs, organizations. It could mean that you're not being valued and you willingly leave, or you might try to cut and sever, but it's you taking the initiative of, or feeling like you're cut and severed or removed from, and needing to take the reins of. Let me look around and see if there's anything else that I want to. You're having a Mars. Okay. And you're also having, your Mars is in a sextile to your Mars in your ninth house, of education and travel and religion and philosophy and belief, of I am going, you're initiating, you're going to be going after initiating. It's like giving me a cause to fight for, and I will fight for it. So I'm going to look in the queue, see how we're doing with everything, Polly. Let's see. Oh, Ellen, great to see. Yeah, good to see you, because it has been a while. Okay. Oh, Catherine, I'm not on tomorrow. I go every other Tuesday. So, okay. And Ellen, okay, you're volunteer with your HOA association. Look, I totally understand that, Ellen. Yeah, because if you want the job done right, you do the job yourself. I get it. You have a great friend who lives in the village. Hey, I just left the villages. My parents are there. We were there for a couple days. Yeah, I love that. Ellen, you are very welcome. It's always good to see you here. Okay, and I'm glad everybody is resonating with all of this information. Hey, Jessica Faith. I do not know how many are in the queue. I'd have to ask. I have 2 more in the queue. All right, so let's do this. I'm sorry, I have 3 more in the queue. All right, so I will quit jabbering here and I will move along. Hey, Annie from South Africa. Please tell me about my daughters that are estranged. Oh, I'm so sorry about your daughters being estranged. All right. Let me see who is next in the queue. And that is Constance. All right. All right, let's see here. I appreciate everybody joining me in between the eclipses and crazy wonky energy that we are definitely having. Canada. Come on. Okay, let me do that again. Let's do it again. For crying in a bucket. Ontario. Let's do it right. Yes. Okay. Okay, Constance, let's take a look. There you go. Oh, you got Venus at 29. Look, I love your chart. I absolutely... You have more blue than red, so like a lot of positive going on here. All right, so let's let me bring up a pie wheel and let's... let's talk about you. So first off, Constance, I want to thank you for joining me tonight and for trusting me with your consultation. Let's see. So you have Saggy rising, Mars on your first house, south node there. This is close. Okay. And this is going to be sitting pretty close here. Okay, so let's talk about you. You were born with Pluto conjunct Uranus. Oh, let's talk about that for just a second. Okay, I'm going to circle that just so you understand. And I'm hoping I'm not circling too much for you. And I'll erase it as I go along. The south node is where we release what we let go, our past. It's like, okay, it's done its due diligence. We have to release and let go. The south node is at 18 degrees, sitting on top of your Pluto and your Uranus. Pluto is the planet of death, birth, death, transformation. It comes in and says, this is no longer working. Let's get rid of all of these plants and start anew with it. And let's compost it. It's not like it throws it away. Pluto is necessary. It comes in to transform. Uranus is shock and surprise. So I have it and now it's gone. And so this is in your 10th house of responsibilities, jobs, careers, reputation, legacy. This is a lot for you to say, I am releasing, I am letting go. And it's, I had a job and then I didn't get that raise, or or it's gone, or I quit, or I just can't do this anymore. And it's totally a letting go and a releasing of. So so that's been for the last year of your life, and you're almost, the cycle will continue into 2026, and it will be a transformation of moving you towards something that you're more aligned with. So having this new moon, if you go back 3 weeks, you had a new moon that had something to do with your the 10th house. Now the 10th house could be it brings in business related promotion, success, reputation, responsibilities, personal ambition. It's, where does Constance want to go? Where do you want to move forward with? And it's making those connections in order to do that. This new moon will be it will be a new moon of, and now I'm ready to leave a chapter behind because this is a new direction. Now, it doesn't have to happen exactly on the day. It would have been in the 4 to 6 weeks that lead up to it, and it can also go in the 4 to 6 weeks that lead after it. Now, it's bringing in a transformation of all kinds of technology and travel, neighbors, siblings, cousins, the way that you communicate. This could be through email, phone, and text, and bringing in connections through partnerships, business or professional or personal. The 7th house brings in themes of contracts and relationships. It's agreements that you make with other people. The goal is to be leaning towards home and leaning towards creativity, fun, joy, pleasure, that it can't be all work and no play. Now, Mars is also going to be at 29 degrees when this happens. Currently, it is sitting on top of your Mercury. You have Sun and Mercury in the sign of Libra. It usually makes you, I'm sure that it makes you a really good communicator. It makes you the kind of person that you actually listen to what people say, and then you can, I always say that you're pollinators. You go from flower to flower to flower, or group of person to person to person, and then you will say, hold on, I know somebody who is into the same thing that you are. Let me introduce you. Because Libra energy, they literally connect. They're like, they put the puzzle pieces together. Now you have Mars right now sitting on top of your Mercury. Constance, I have to take the initiative. I have to take charge of this group, this club, this organization. I have to take charge of my goals and where I'm going to go if I'm going to make this happen. It's literally feeling like that there's something that's slipping away, and that you have to to make the move towards the new. And I'm hoping all of this makes sense to you, because it's going to be very, very close to your moon. Having a moon in Pisces, they dream, they feel the vibrations of, it's knowing something is going to happen, not exactly knowing what it is, but having the feeling within inside of you and saying, I have to move towards this. You just literally had a full moon eclipse in your 4th house on top of your Chiron wound, and close to your Saturn also. So this was like a shocking, surprising awakening, or releasing, or letting go of something that had to do with family and traditions and themes of home. So I'm hoping that this gives you like an overall picture of what to expect now and in the coming weeks, Constance. I'm gonna look in the queue and see how that goes. Hey, Mops. Glad to see Mops is in the house. Maisha, girlfriend. Oh, are we the same? Is this the same Maisha that's in my,
Maisha Miller.
oh, no. So, sorry, Maisha. I have a friend who is part of my Patreon, named Maisha. And, sorry, I didn't mean to call you a girlfriend. I love her. She's such a great person. All right. All right, Maisha. Let's pull up a wheel here. All right. All right, let's take a look. Maisha, oh. Okay. Jupiter. Okay. Let's talk about this. Wait. September 21st. Okay. Maisha, I got it. Yep, startled me there for a second. Okay. And this is sitting here. All right. So there was no specific question. Oh, for crying out loud. So I'm just going to roam around the chart and give you my thoughts and ideas about what is going on with you. So first off, I want to say thank you for trusting me. And I want to start with you're having this new moon eclipse. It's going to be happening on the 21st. So coming up here, Sunday. I want you to think back 3 weeks ago. You had a new moon that it was in your 11th house of your dreams, your goals, your networks, your collaborations, your groups, your friend groups, your social groups, something that you're in charge of. You would have started something. It was about initiating, connecting with somebody. These are online, like through your phone, or like in person. This new moon eclipse is going to be new moon, but it's at the 29th degree. So I am going to be releasing, letting go, and it's totally dissolving. Like I am no longer going to be in this group. Either the group disbands, or I'm going to leave it, or I'm going to take it over. I don't think you'll take it over. I think it'll be a leave. The 11th house brings in themes of your humanitarian efforts, the community. How do you help and support the collective? And so starting something new there, it'll literally be like this new chapter. Now, it's in a harmonious aspect with your 8th house of Uranus. 8th house that has Uranus in it. And so Uranus is shocking and surprising. Some of these people that you are connected with, probably on a very personal level, or you have the 11th house is the people, places, and things that I am invested in, personally invested in. And Pluto is in your 4th house of home, transforming totally over the next 20 years. Pluto is in an Aquarius is, think of something exotic, unique, and different. And Pluto will transform what does home foundation look like. This could be discovering something that has to do with your ancestry, your home, your family, your traditions, where this come from, a relative that you didn't know about. Pluto is working with Uranus in your 8th house, and I believe it's like bringing up secrets. The 8th house is also the house of sex, and it's the house of taboo topics, things that we don't discuss, like debt and alimony and child support. And I would go so far as to say secrets from the past. It could be from family, or it could be from connections that you have with others. And so this is an intimate part, like this big trine here that says we're all going to work together, and we're going to uncover some things, and we're going to start a new chapter. And so with that, Neptune is in your 6th house of your daily habits, transforming, dissolving, letting go. Are you working from home? Are you working, like, how are you taking care of yourself? The 6th house is alternative healthcare, healing practices, and modalities. It's also seeking out a guide or a mentor. It has to do with pets, and it has to do with, like, having Neptune here can sometimes mean that I do so much work. I give. It's not appreciated, and now it feels like slavery to me. And so, like, I am an indentured servant to them. And so Neptune is dissolving some of those connections and making sure that you are focused on you and your own independence and what you bring to the table. Saturn is in your 5th house of your own inner child, or the house of creativity, and it's saying all work, no play, really not good for us. We have to have guidelines. We have to have rules. We have to have goals of short, middle, long term in order to make this happen. You have Mars sitting on top of your Pluto in your 12th house. I love this transit for uncovering secrets. The 12th house is our subconscious mind. It's where we withdraw in order to connect to the universe. The 12th house is also the house of prisons and retreats, affliction, hospitalization. So if there's anything that you've been going through, this is the breakthrough that we get through in order to understand what's going on. Like, it could be a scandal. It could be, and when I say retreats, it could be where you retreat intentionally, or where the universe says you need to go here for healing. Because if we don't take care of ourselves in the 6th house, and we give too much to others and not take care of ourselves, this is the house that we pay for it, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, psychologically. And so you have a lot in Libra here, which means having to balance. The 12th house is the broken record that we hear of what other people have told us about ourselves, and then what we start to believe, and it's having to break the chains of those thoughts. It's the 12th house is the house of self-undoing. And so how do I break and release? Because when I heal me now, I heal my past and I heal my future. And so this energy is putting you in charge of. You just had a Mars return, which is a brand new 2-year cycle of you doing a lot of shadow work, or tapping into paying attention to what the universe is saying to you. It could be, I would even go so far as to say, like, a spiritual awakening, and saying, am I aligned with my life? So, Maisha, I'm hoping all of this makes sense to you. All right. Thank you, Maisha. Let me see. How is everybody in the queue? Oh, Mupsy, I'm so glad that you're back at the beach. We were actually able to make it to the beach today for just a little bit before it rained, because Lord knows it is hurricane season here. All right. Catherine, I appreciate you waiting for me and being here tonight. 19. I love when everybody has their exact time of birth. All right. Okay, and the question. Oh, life past this Christian. I've been sick for 20 years. Some toxins, ticks, mom. Tried to move on. Oh, girlfriend. Okay. I totally understand that. Okay, Catherine. Let's have a little looky-loo at you. Okay. Where are your notes? Okay. All right, Catherine. A lot of water and earth. A lot of water and earth, which I absolutely love. Okay, let me transition this over and let me pull up the bi-wheel. All right, so let's talk about your health. Oh, you're having a Jupiter return. Hella freaking Luya to that. Okay, a Jupiter return comes once every 12 years. This is really great news for you. It's in your first house of identity. The first house it's literally who you are, your appearance, your image, your outlook. It's things that you want to start, things that you want to do. It happens once every 12 years, and this is kind of like everything that you have been through has changed and created who you are now, and now you're going to be starting this new chapter. Jupiter takes the hits, and if something was bad, it makes it not as bad. And so Jupiter is your ruling planet that rules over your sixth house of your health, rules over your sun. And so I don't want to minimize anything that you've been through, but I am saying that there's hope on the horizon, because you're now starting this new chapter of everything that you've been through. It's now saying, let's start fresh, let's start clean, let's start with who, because it's literally has changed who you are. The first house is how you look, it's how you present yourself, it's your name, it is your business card, it's your website. And so who you were and who you are now, because of everything that you've been through. The sixth house is alternative healthcare and healing modalities. The sixth house is how you take care of yourself. It's diet, it's illness, it is all of these things that happen to us. And so having this Jupiter return is offering you this light at the end of a long journey, saying, okay, things are now going to start turning. Things are now going to get better. That being said, I want to talk about the eclipses of things that are going on right now. Okay. Now, I'm going to draw the kite for you so you can see it. Oh, for crying out loud. There we go. Can I have a drink? Sorry, I just need one hot. Thank you. All right. So, Catherine, I want you to think back. Actually, I want you to go back a year. Whatever was going on a year ago, I don't know if that's when the health thing started. I think it probably was before that. But a year ago, the eclipses started to happen in your third house of communication. Neighbors, siblings, cousins. It's about finding out information. I would look at it as you have to be your own best advocate, of you searching out people, places, and things that can support you. The opposite being true with the ninth house. The ninth house is cross-cultural experiences. It's about learning. It's about studying. I, Catherine, have had to spend, I don't know if this is going to doctors that could be farther away, somebody that has more information. The ninth house is the house of higher learning, where you go to expand your mind, where you have to do the digging or you connect with other people. You are having this final eclipse that's going to be happening at 29 degrees that says, all right, we're good. Chapter over, new chapter that's starting in an area of your life that has to do with where you connect with others, building of relationships, transportation, communication, ideas, thoughts. And I would take everything that's been going on with you. This would be, how do you share your experience with other people? And who do you share this with? You have Pluto in your 8th house and you have Uranus in your 12th house. These are taboo topics. These are secrets. These are things that people just don't want to talk about, don't want to bring up. How do you connect with those people? And how do you share with them everything that's transformed who you are and help them grow from your experience? Pluto in the 8th house is it's literally birth, death, and rebirth, and it's transformation of people, places, and things that you are invested in. It's inheritances, it's wills, it's debt, it's taxes. And so I'm sure that it's probably you looking at all of the finances that you've had to spend on medical or other things in order to sustain the things that have happened to you. Pluto will transform those investments that you've made. Uranus in your 12th house is a connection to wanting, I would look at it as the connection of, I want to understand why me and what am I going to gain from this? Can I pull back enough of a perspective to see what is the gift that comes from this? What is the blessing? What have I learned? Because cruddy lessons are really hard you need time and space away from them to say, if this wouldn't have happened, I wouldn't be who I am today. And I look at this as a turning point for you to transform who you were into who you are now, and the sharing with other people. I want to add to this that having this new moon in your 3rd house starts this brand new chapter. I don't know if it's a letting go of some type of community that's around you. Remember, the 3rd house is also the house of writing. I would say, are you getting the information out there to other people about things that you have gone through in order for other people to learn from it, so that they can learn from your experience? I'm going to check in the queue because I would like more information on that too.
So far, so good.
Okay, so far so good. Okay, good. Okay. Okay, then I'm going to, hold on. I'm going to remove this so I can see it from a fresh set of clean eyes. All right. Knowing all of that, I just want to, knowing where you're going to be going, then I want to fast forward, let's go 2 weeks into the future here. You have Mars in your 4th house. It's going to move into your 5th house. It is, what is Catherine going to create? What is Catherine going to give birth to? Scorpio truly means transformation. Think of yourself as the snake, and you have grown, changed, and evolved. You now have to shed your skin. You have to transform. You are the phoenix. The phoenix dies out in the ashes and then is reborn. When Mars moves into the sign of Scorpio, Scorpio says, Scorpio's not afraid of death. They're not afraid of transformation. Scorpio energy is, and you have a stellium there. You got 3 planets there already. I'm not, this is Catherine. I'm not afraid to share this. I'm not afraid to discuss this. I need to be able to willingly, and what is it that you want to create or give birth to? Is this putting it into poetry, to music, to a blog, to connect with other social circles or networks? The 5th house is, how do I heal myself? The 5th house is your own inner child, or children? How do I connect to childlike activities, mentality that I can bring back love and joy back into my life? So, and that'll be you initiating, you going after it. So I'm hoping all of that makes sense to you. I tried to list my house for the sake to go to a condo, and everything started going majorly wrong with my house. Of course. I have mold. I need major repairs, appliance repairs. I'm broke because of health. And it's, of course, it's not healthy to be in the house either. Yeah. I don't think I would do anything until I don't think you should do anything until you're out of this eclipse season. There's going to be one more window. Hold on. You're going to have one brief window, and it's going to be October. Like the first week of October until October 26th. That's a brief window that if you can get everything together and say, let's do this again and sell it, that's going to be a good window to make it happen. Because after that, Mercury is going to station retrograde, and Mercury is going to be retrograde in Sagittarius and Scorpio in your 5th and 6th house. Okay, just a quickie, because you're already on here and you've already told me about health. Mercury retrograde in your 5th and 6th house will either things will flare up again, or you will come to a solution and have an understanding of what it is when Mercury stations direct. And this will be November 9th to November 29th. So know that there can be things that come back up, and then a salute. When things come back up, I look at it and say, oh, and that's the pattern that I needed to see in order for me to understand, so I don't make that mistake again, in order to know better, heal better. And so I'm hoping that that makes sense to you. All right. Wow, thank you very much, Catherine.
Your friend.
Oh, Jessica, girlfriend, how are you? Okay, hold on. Let me see if I even have you in here, so I don't even have to. I do. All right, Jessica. Free to roam wherever it leads. Oh my gosh. Girlfriend, with this much Virgo energy, because you know, you and I know your chart. Like, oh, good Lord. Okay. I think of you often, my friend. I wish we saw each other more often. Like, not that we're going to share everything on there. I miss you. I miss you tons. All right, so let's talk. It's a lot. It's intense because you've got so much Virgo energy here. I want to bring your attention, and because it's recorded and I know you know enough about astrology, I'm just going to start circling and drawing. You have currently Venus at 2 degrees on top of your North Node. Absolutely love this. Venus, goddess of love and beauty, money, resources. Venus rules over your 9th house of travel, connection to foreign people, places, and things. Venus also rules over your 2nd house of money. So Venus is focused on, hey, Jessica, North Node, what are we focused on? Getting organized, things of value. The 1st house is your identity, changing your identity. I'm sure that you are not the same person that I saw the last time we either saw each other on Zoom or saw each other in person. I mean, it's been a while, but like the 1st house is like, what do you want to be called? Business card, website. Like, how has this energy transformed you? You are having, okay, I'm going to get rid of this. You are having a nodal opposition. Remember, nodal opposition is like you and I driving down the road, and we're in the car, and I'm like, Jessica, what's going to come and what's going to stay? You're a nodal opposition is when you look back at the last 9 years of your life and you say, what do I align with and what do I want to take with me? I had a client, and this person was in recovery, and I said, oh, I want you to be real cautious because you got this nodal return going on here, and there are going to be people, places, and things from your past come back into it. And they said, no, it's been so long, I'm really good. And then I get an email, you're not going to believe it, I met this dealer up at the mall, you're not going to believe it. I started getting text messages from blah, 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 and I deleted all these people. Literally, it's when your past comes to confront you in this year and a half of your life. And so think back a year and say, all right, what have I done over the last 9 years of my life? Where do I like I'm not going to beat myself up over it, but I am going to move forward with the lesson learned. I look at everything that we do. It's a reason, a season, or a lifetime. The people in our lives and the lessons that we learn. And so you go back and you look at, okay, I get it, I understand, this person's a yes, this person's a no, this is a good place, this is not, this is what I learned, this is what I did not. This nodal opposition here, it's not done. You still have like 6 more months left on it. It's going to take you into 2026. I want to talk about this at 29 degrees. You are also having a Saturn opposition, girlfriend. You know Saturn opposition, like you couldn't get enough oppositions in your life. But that's okay, because when this is done, it'll all be done. Like, that's the good news, okay? So I'm just, yes, and looking to use the lessons to become a guide and coach and using human design. Yes, recreating myself. This is about recreating yourself with your thoughts, and it is intense. I would love to say that this is easy energy, but you know me, I got Pluto in my first house. You're going to get the truth. And so you have Saturn in your first house. Everything that you do will have to be attained over a longer period of time. Like, think of that 30-mile marker, then the 60-mile marker. Okay, you're having a Saturn opposition. Saturn is totally opposite of this new moon. This is, I, Jessica, am ready to get rid of, shed, release all of this that has to do with, that means like, okay, are you cleaning out the closet? Are you cleaning out your phones? Are you saying, and are you owning it? Saturn says, own it, move forward. And I look at Saturn as the teacher. Saturn comes to me and says, I am the guide. I am karma, I am over time, and use me, work towards this. If you're going to do it, make it worth it. Neptune says, dissolve the old. It doesn't mean forget the lesson. This 29 degrees says, you have now graduated. You've graduated from this, and now let's move on to this. Let's evolve. Now, your new moon is in your first house of self. I would look at a business card or a website. I would put it out there. After this, I wouldn't do it right now. I would like put the plan into place. But the first new moon that comes after it, like that first one in October, you should be working on it right now. What business card, Facebook, Instagram, whatever you're going to put on out there. Who have you evolved and changed into from all of your growth? That's what you should be working on. And it's you saying, I have endured this. Let me be the teacher. Let me be the guide. Neptune will dissolve, release the rest. Uranus in your house of career brings in things that it says, I, Jessica, want to do this job. I want to move in towards this career. And then what happens is you do this and something else comes along and shifts it completely. It means that, yes, this is good. But what you start off with and what you end up with are going to be 2 totally different things, and it's going to be amazing because it's Gemini up there. It's duality. It's 2 different careers, 2 different jobs, 2 different options. And Uranus is the maverick. Go where nobody else has been. I'm so excited for you. I absolutely, this has been a long time coming, and I am honored to look at your chart and say that this is a transformation of having Pluto in your 6th house is going to add to the layer of transforming your mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, psychological health and well-being. And it's using alternative healing modalities and methods in your practices, and knowing to make sure that when you give, you only give what you can, and it doesn't become I give so much that it hurts my health, because having that stellium in the sign of Virgo is like, okay, you know me, I have to schedule in play because I could work 24/7. Like it's, like it just goes on out. So it's scheduling in self-care. All right. I'm sending you a big fat hug. I love you, lady. And I hope when I'm going to be back in Ohio for 2 short weeks, maybe we will see each other then. All right. Let me see who is next in the queue. All right. Oh. Hi, Annette. Thank you for waiting. Oh. Oh my God, I love your numbers. Right, yeah, hold on. I'm in a new job 1 year later in a, I don't, okay. Okay, hold on. I need to read this one more time. I'm trying to understand this because you said cancel. Hold on. Okay. You're at a new job and 1 year later on, I don't know what a PIP moving is to Arizona because so frustrated. Is it going to last at this job? I have a house rented out in Colorado, but you're renting in Arizona and Texas. Okay, so let's take a look at got it. Thank you. Okay. So let's talk about, is the job going to last? Oh, okay. Personal improvement plan. Did not know. All right, Jessica, love you. And yeah, thank you for the safe travels. I'll be heading back right after the eclipse. All right, let's talk. All right, Annette, what I love about this, right here. Okay. I'm going to give you a date. It'll be for, hold on. Jupiter moves on June 30th. June 30th of 2026. Okay, so you have Jupiter right here in your 9th house until June 30th of next year. Now, Jupiter, it expands everything. It's the Santa Claus of the zodiac. It's about travel. It's about learning and studying. It's teaching. It's legal matters. It's about expanding your mind and expanding your horizons. I think you're going to stay right where you're at until next June. It'll probably happen even before June. I believe that there will be some type of a shift, a move, or something when, and it opposes Pluto. So it's like leave quick and not go back. Okay, I'm going to back up and let's just talk about this eclipse. And then I'm going to add that into the story. All right. As a Scorpio rising, you are ruled by Mars and Pluto, two planets. I'm sorry, my dog is begging. So, Pluto is one of them, and Pluto's in your 4th house of home. It's here for the next 20 years. It is Annette, need to create some kind of foundation or home over the next 20 years. It's in the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius is not to be tied down. I don't know if you're going to be staying exactly with where you're at. I think that your home is going to be a shifting, changing, and evolving thing over the next several years. I think that there's going to be a shift that's starting now that will become bigger in February of next year. And then next June, you will be having a Jupiter return, which has to do with your job, your reputation, your career, and it will shift you into a brand new 12-year plan. So astrology is based on short, middle, and long-term transits of the planets, and they're all on their own cycle. You are having this eclipse. I'm gonna break it down into sections. We're having this eclipse, but it's part of a bigger eclipse that started a year ago, and it goes into 18 months. And so we still have 6 months left of the story, that you are looking at groups and networks and clubs and organizations. You are trying to actively search out people, groups that you can be part of, either online or in person, to be part of. And that means this eclipse will be saying, I have to finally leave this. I have to let go of this. I have to do something else. In the sign of Virgo, Virgo is about being organized and structured, but it's also about self-care, having to do this for yourself. Even the 11th house can be where you volunteer. I find that most of my clubs, groups, and organizations that I'm part of are for me volunteering. The Appalachian Service Project, like where you go down and you work on homes for a week, the Rape Crisis Center, the Women's Shelter. These are parts, this is where I actually get out and can work with people and socialize. And it's not always about making a friend, but like connecting with people. I think that this new moon might be more of you finding your acts of service to connect with other people who do those same acts of service, if that makes sense. Now, what opposes it is Saturn in your 5th house. Saturn is retrograde. Saturn says we have to have a long-term plan for this. The 5th house is the house of children or creativity or projects that we want to start or to give birth to. Neptune is dissolving. It's releasing, it's letting go. It's saying that there's an old chapter and everything that I was doing is not working. I cannot do anything that's traditional. I just can't go on those like coffee shop, whatever, or those meet and greet. I have to do something that's meant for me. And so I'm saying, think outside the box. Be creative with how you're going to connect with other people. And it can be through acts of service. It can be through connections of other people. The move, I think that there is going to be, I don't think you're going to be staying there. I'm going to add more. Hold on, I'm going to get rid of this so you can see it. You just started a Mars cycle that will last for 2 years. Mars in the sign of Libra. I, Annette, have to overcome my fears. I have to break these cycles. The 12th house is the house of self-sabotage. This means that over the next 2 years, you are actively seeking out ways to release yourself from that, to heal from that, and to move forward from that. It's the gift of heal and renew. It's diving deep, tuning in, and then saying, it's let go, let flow, and allowing the healing to happen. It's overcoming your limitations, overcoming your fears. And so I know you're on a 2-year transit to do that, and it's not something that just happens overnight. And so I'm sending you a lot of blessings for that. I'm going to add one more thing in here. You were born at this beautiful new moon in the sign of Sagittarius. So the ruling planet of your money and of your sun and your moon is Jupiter. So following Jupiter around the chart is going to guide you for where your heart and your head should be. And Mars and Pluto, because of your rising sign, rule over the direction in life of where you're going to go. So I'm hoping all of this makes sense to you. I'm going to jump in the queue and take a look. Annette, let's see. No problem. I love your numbers. I'm telling you, I absolutely love them. All right. And no, I am done for this evening. And Annette, I'm hoping that all of this makes sense to you. And I'm hoping that you join me in 2 more weeks. And if you guys would like to join me over on my Patreon, where I do 2 lives, we get together. It's more of everybody's in a box on the computer, like on a Zoom, where we can actually unmute and talk to each other. Or I'm also offering my moon manifestation guide for 20% off with the words Eclipse 20 special. And I hope to see you again in 2 more weeks. So sending everybody blessings and thanking everybody for being here. And yeah, wherever you are at, enjoy this eclipse. All right, guys, I heart you.